too much longer. Otherwise, it'll cook away the jalapeno spice. So just mix it up a little. You want to pull the oils out of the jalapeno seed. That's where the spice comes from. I'm going to take the salsa, pour it out on this pan. And start to work on the meat.
After we clean it.
We have our 2 ounces of meat here. I'm going to pan fry it. I'm not going to wash the pan from the salsa. I wanted to keep the flavor in there from the garlic. It's going to add a little spice, a little punch of spice to it. So I have our piece here. I'm going to dice it, just like in traditional bibimbap, into lengthwise pieces.
Anything would be that good.
To the meat now, we have our pan and the remains of the salsa in there. A little garlic, jalapeno flavor, and tomatoes. So we're going to fry that up. Turn a little bit more oil. We're not going to have to wait as long because it's still warm.
The flat side, as flat as possible.
So we're just going to move that around a little. Wait a minute. Check on the peppers.
Lay it flat.
Give it one more taste.
As possible. I'll put them through. Just be careful.
And they're done.
Basically what you want is a nice, even, flat crumb.
Just gonna pour out the peppers there. We'll start with the meat. Now you want the temperature to be on high here. You want them to sizzle a little bit. You want the outside to be cooked through a little tougher on the outside, and the inside to be not rare, but you don't want all the juice to come out since they're very small pieces. We're going to take our same spatula that was used to cook the salsa and the peppers, use it on the meat as well. Cooking the outside, again, we don't want to cook it for too long, otherwise all the juice will run out, the meat will become too dry. So we're just going to check the side of that, see if it's cooked through. As you can see here, looks like it's well enough done on that side, so we can flip them all. Similar spices, we're just going to throw on a little bit of salt there.
Okay. Now we got
you don't want to salt the meat too early, otherwise if you marinate it with salt,
in English we call these spring onions.
Draw the juice out of the meat. So you want to make sure to salt it at the end of the cooking process.
the whites as much as the greens.
We're going to take a little bit of cumin, less than a teaspoon here, just a little drizzle over the top.
I've never seen this before.
Again, a little chili powder. A little bit of garlic. So once we've very lightly seasoned the meat, we're going to mix it up. Just make sure we collect all the spices at the bottom of the pan.
So it's going to make it fusion.
And we're going to take it off.
Shrimp,
Maybe, I don't know.
beans.
So now we can start the plating process. We have our big size bibimbap bowl. We're going to take about a small, maybe about a cup and a half of rice, a little less. We're going to put that at the bottom of the bowl. Make sure it's a nice round shape right there. We don't want it to be built up too high, just spread down at the bottom of the bowl. I'm going to dice it round like this and split it into 2 halves so I can take out the pit in the middle there.
Well.
So I've done that, sort of remove both the pieces together. And open it up, preferably having done minimal damage, so we can still make nice slices out of that. So I'm going to take this, stick the spoon in, and just move it, groove it around the edges. So we've scooped that out, but I'm going to still keep it in the shell. I'm going to take a knife and cut it in lengthwise pieces, just like that. make sure not to cut your hand. Very attractive avocado slices here.
And squeeze.
We're gonna set this to the side. We're gonna just dice it into rounds. You still want to keep the crunch that you get from the green onion. That's what element it adds. It's a little bit of crunch. But you can also press it down and they'll open up a little. So you might lose a little bit of crunch, but you have this stringy texture that'll sort of mix in with the rest of the ingredients in the bowl. Won't stay in these large chunks. Alright, so we're going to take our salsa. This is the gochujang of the southwestern dish. We're just going to place a little in the middle, like so. And again, if you like it a little spicier, you can add some of those fresh jalapenos to the top. Next, we're going to take our colorful pepper and jalapeno mix. We're just going to set a little of that to the side, taking up about 1/4 the side of the bowl. And again, we're just going to set that to the side so it takes about 1/4 of the bowl.
Now that we added all our ingredients,
Sizzled meat.
it looks
Again,
like a lot.
so.
Because it is a fry. The term fritter means fry.
And we're going to take our avocado, and you can keep it, if you have a neat design like that, you can keep it, or you can break it apart. Do your own little design there.
The same bowl you can just do
We can add a few nachos to the mix, so you can just assort nachos to the side of the bowl, like so. And you can use those nachos to scoop up the salsa or whatever mix you've done, and enjoy it like you're eating Southwest food and you're eating Korean food. So.